Hi, thank you for joining us. This is Jen Healy with the Aerial Yoga Play program, and I'm here with my new friend, Sue. And Sue is from New Hampshire. She joined us for the 30-day Yoga Swing Challenge and did such an excellent job that I am giving her a free yoga swing for all of her magnificent participation and wonderful comments. And I thought it'd be fun for us to do a little interview with Sue. And since she's all the way on the East Coast, we chimed her in on video chat, and we did the best we could here to get on the same page this morning, which was really fun, challenge in itself, but we did it. So we're recording this so you can hear about Sue's experience. We're going to talk about the 30-day challenge and the AYRx Yoga Swing and the benefits that she gained. I chose Sue for a couple different reasons. So first of all, Sue is a brave soul. She just jumped in without knowing me or really the Aerial Yoga Play program or what I was doing. And not only that, I really appreciated the depth of her comments and the transformation that she went through in those 30 days. She really gave it her all, and it was so clear what she was giving her whole heart and her whole being to the practice. So I want to welcome Sue. Hi, Sue.
Hi, good morning, Jen.
Yeah.
Yay, we made it.
We made it. It took us a little while, but we got all the moving pieces and we're on video chat just so you could have a live experience. I mean, we could have done a phone call, but it's a little bit more fun. It's like the shadowy mystery person on the computer is talking back to us. But this is Sue. Welcome, Sue.
Welcome. It's nice to be here.
Yeah, really appreciate you being so brave again and doing a video chat. I know it's kind of strange. We have this new technology, this new world where we actually can record things, but I really think your experience and your journey is going to help so many people. And it's really why I do the practice, right? And make these fun things. Like, how can I encourage someone to show up every day with me and just do 5 or 10 minutes? So I want to just ask you, just talk a little bit about your experience, like what brought you to the swing, and then what was it that made you commit to the 30 days, like what drew you to that, what attracted you, and then just talk a little bit about what you gained from the practice, if you can.
Okay, I'll tell you the reason and how everything got started, because for me it really was a journey. I was very stiff and getting a lot of inflammation, and even sitting at a short period of time and getting up, I was having difficulty. And I was getting concerned about that as time went on, and I said, I better get back into yoga, before yoga, because I know that helped me before, and I stopped doing it, and that was a mistake. So I started looking around on YouTube for information about yoga, and all of a sudden I came upon an advertisement for yoga plus the yoga swing, which I had never seen before. So I started looking at that, and I said, on videos, and I said, boy, that looks like fun. I want to try that. And I thought to myself, before investing in one, if I could do a class nearby here where I live, that would be great. And indeed, I found a class nearby, and it was a drop-in class, which meant that it wasn't geared to beginners, and they were doing a lot of aerial flips and different contortions that I definitely wasn't ready for.
Right.
But I ended up being able to do 1 or 2 inversions, and I really didn't have the strength. I had no core muscles to speak of. I think it was just by sheer determination alone that I got through, but I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And after the class, and I took a couple of classes, I didn't want to continue with the class, but I did want to get a yoga swing. And the one they had there was of a stretchy material. It did have leg loops and handholds. And it was a nice swing. I had seen the other ones that were mostly silk. And I decided to do some research online. And the company that had made those swings was out of business. So I started searching online, and I do a lot of research online, and I just typed in stretchy material yoga swing and came upon Jen Healy's site. And I said, oh, this is great. Somebody else makes a stretchy swing.
Absolutely.
So I started reading information on your site, looked at the swing, and I think it was a lot of your explanation about how it was constructed and what it was made of, and I just got a really good feeling that it was going to be a quality swing. And I wasn't at all nervous about ordering it. I just knew that this was the right decision for me. I could tell just by what was written about how the swing was going to be made, and indeed, exactly, it met my expectations when I received it. It was 10 times the quality of the swing in the yoga class. It was a similar style, but the construction was so much more secure. So it was so much more deep than the other one, and the material was thicker and reinforced. And so I said, "Oh wow, this is really impressive." So I started using the swing, but the little that I remembered in the class, and I found that I was constantly doing the same exercises or poses over and over again. And I sort of started getting a little bit bored because I didn't know how to use it correctly. And a lot of the videos online were just too advanced for me. And my husband would ask me every once in a while, "You can use your yoga swing? Why aren't you using your yoga swing?" And I said, "Oh, I'll get to it. It's too hot right now," because we were having really extreme heat. And then Jen sent an email, and I read it on Gmail, and it said that there was going to be a 30-day challenge for participating and get a free yoga swing. And it wasn't so much the yoga swing that just got me excited. It was the fact that I was going to be able to learn how to use this swing correctly and learn all the different poses that I could do. So that's what I did. I just jumped right in. I had no qualms about it whatsoever. I knew because of the quality of the swing that the person who created it was going to be the same way. And that's exactly what I found, that Jen was a fabulous instructor. She geared it towards beginners like me and, threw in a few challenges, which is, I think, wonderful. And I went from there.
That's awesome. I really appreciate you entrusting not only in my product, but in the program, because I really do lead with a program. I'm actually just going to talk to the camera to talk to you so that I'm facing forward. I know it's like a little strange. Hi. But yeah, can you see the camera? Anyhow, it's this little thing right here. This is who we're talking to. We're talking to the people. So yeah, that's what really impressed me, Sue, exactly what you said, that you bought the swing. Usually people know me or refer to me, but you're actually referring to a sister company of mine called Fly Gym, which was sold. And Fly Gym and I, the founder of Fly Gym and I, have a long background of being quantum players together, and we are teaming up again. So they are actually similar swings, but I have actually improved on that product by making it higher quality materials. It's a cotton lycra blend instead of polyester. And so the stretch and the give is a little bit better, as well as more comfortable on the skin. Polyester tends to create like a rug burn or overstretch. And then also the industrial strength sewing and materials. I love the Fly Gym swings, and I'm so grateful that we're working together in collaboration just to partner up and support one another. But Fly Gym is no longer in business, and so I'm kind of the next product that would be compatible with it. So I'm glad that you found me. And you know how we want to just create a short little video for people and keep their attention. So we're just going to talk for about 2 more minutes, if you're okay with that. And like I said, you really gave the best in-depth descriptions of your experience and what you were gaining from the practice. So I'm just curious if you could tell me, from doing it every day and making that commitment for yourself every day, what did you notice? Like, what changed for you? What was the most significant thing that you got from the 30-day experience?
Oh, I know what the most significant thing was for me. It was a realignment of my posture and strong development of the core muscles that hold that posture in place.
Right.
And I've had poor posture since childhood. I've never experienced, only by chiropractic adjustments, a good alignment, but it never lasted.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And so what happened was I was finding that I was standing taller, I was walking erect, my head and my neck were aligned with my spine, and it held sitting in a chair and then I got up, I found that my posture was vastly improved and continuing to improve each and every time. And I was floored by that because I didn't understand the body mechanics. I learned so much through your videos and your education. And I thought core muscles were just the abs, so I
Right.
didn't realize that there were supporting muscles that held the spine in place. And if you didn't have that, you don't really have a good posture.
Exactly.
When you have a good posture, the whole world is open to you and you can do so much more and you feel so much healthier. And now everything in my body seems to be working at optimum health levels and all working synergistically together.
Amazing. Yeah. And Sue and I have never really had a conversation before. I just yesterday called her and said, hey, will you do this interview with me as part of the package of winning the swing? And so again, I just really want to thank you for being so brave and jumping in. And I love everything you're sharing. It's honestly exactly why I've made the swing, and I lead with a therapeutics program, although I call it aerial yoga play because it's part of the quantum playground, and this idea of awakening the courageous inner child and allowing ourselves to have fun while we get fit and feel good. Super important to have fun for it to feel good. And I want you to just talk a little bit about some of your favorite videos. Like, when did you notice the shift? Because not to call you out, but Sue, you came to this program, like you were saying, kind of new to this swing, as well as needing to get some sort of workout to improve your health. So it's not like you were this yoga master, right? Like, I work a lot, right? You were coming just as a normal person and then found the swing and then dove in. And so just tell me a little bit about some of your favorite videos and why you like them so much.
I think day one was the first day that I felt a spinal alignment stretch. I never felt that before in any of the floor exercises I've done without a lot of pressure on my back.
Right.
So I felt the vertebrae and the space between the vertebrae being created. I also felt some hip joint areas stretching. So I didn't really have any expectations. I thought first day probably not so much, but I really experienced a feeling that things were happening. And I came away energized and feeling very, very light. And I was very positive that I was already off to a great start. So that was my first one, I think, because just I got that great feeling. And then the next one, I think that probably was another one of my favorites, was let's see.
We had so many, it's hard to remember, right?
I know, that's the hard thing. Day 9.
Okay.
Was that one that I felt
the full body.
Everything, my whole body was engaged the whole time and being pulled up and out and stretched really well. And I just loved the twists. I felt so much flexibility in the twists. So that was another great one. And
well, let's just let the folks know that the day 9 just happened to be the full body workout. So I didn't even know what to call it because we're using the handholds and we're hanging and we're stretching our shoulders, we're stretching our back and the whole spine. It's literally my favorite pose that I start with every day. I say each one is
right. And I was thinking, where did you ever get a stretch like this?
It's amazing.
No way.
And then right,
so,
from that stretch, then we do some core strengthening and lift the legs up, lift the knees into the chest. So while the spine is lengthened, we start to strengthen the muscles around the core, and therefore it's going to hold the space. If we're doing core strengthening or if we're doing any of these exercises while in compression, we're actually reinforcing the poor posture that we're trying to get rid of, right? So some of these really basic common sense things that I create with the swing, I really felt you get in that day 9 because you gave me like a wow. And then do you happen to remember what your comment was for that? Or you can just, you can freestyle, but tell me what you felt from doing that full body stretch.
Really comfortable.
Right.
Really comfortable in that full body stretch that I didn't expect. Right. And everything just felt so good. I love being supported. I love having
Yeah, and doable, right? So
Oh,
the fact that it's geared towards beginners being able to get as big of an experience as people who could be professional acrobatics or masterful level yoga teachers. So that's what I loved about your journey, is that it was catered for beginners as well as the advanced, and that you could do it and get a profound experience.
yeah, I felt that the videos were so doable because they were short. I wasn't overdoing because I generally do that.
Right.
And I felt like I just did enough, but not too much. And then I could always do more if I wanted. But it was just perfect for my level.
That's right. So what we did, just a little recap, is we did 30 videos, one a day for the month of September. You can actually do the 30-day challenge at any time. So it doesn't expire. It will all be up on YouTube. It's free. And I put the videos in a format that we cover body parts. So there will be one for the neck, there'll be one for the shoulders, there's one for the upper back, for the lower back, etc. So you can actually hop around and find something that you need specifically for your body that day. Or we can systematically go through the entire body and give you that experience of working everything together, because we are a whole being and we need to work the body as one whole system for it to function optimally. So 5 to 10 minutes was the length of each video. You could repeat it, or you could go on to other videos there's over 1,000 on YouTube for you to choose if you were inspired to do an entire hour workshop, something like that was available. But really 5 or 10 minutes was enough, and that's all I wanted people to do, is just 5 or 10 minutes a day, and then feel the transformation, feel the shift that happens in the body.
That's absolutely correct. That's exactly what I felt.
Well, great. Let's talk about maybe one or two more videos, and then we'll let you go for today, Sue. Go ahead and just anything that comes to mind.
Day 13.
Okay.
Was the first day in my whole life I have been able to do a headstand. Yay!
Oh,
I
right.
didn't know it was possible. I have been trying forever, and it's such a hardship for me. Doing floor headstands just never worked. I could do it against the wall minimally, but it was never comfortable. And that inversion headstand was unbelievable. It just felt so easy and effortless, and I was feeling the spine aligning, and all the muscle and tension or pain that I had from waking up in the morning was gone, and I had increased freedom of motion. So that was even, another bonus. So I think that that's probably the one that made the most impression on me, was that things that I couldn't do before I could now do. And it was comfortable, and it was effortless, and it was easy. And so I could get into deeper poses because of it, because of having the support of the swing and not working against gravity, but with it.
Exactly. Especially something like a headstand, which even for a really experienced person can cause a lot of neck and shoulder pain, a lot of compression in the cervical spine, which is the opposite of what we want. So some of those poses, which are called the king of all postures in yoga, and I do take yoga as an influence and an inspiration for the poses, and I call them yoga translations, because they don't translate exactly like any language, but it's close. And for people who are experienced with yoga and have always wanted to do a 5-minute headstand, it's absolutely possible with no pressure on the joints of the body.
So I walked away from that practice feeling so physically and mentally uplifted. I was almost singing. I was so excited. I did a headstand.
I know, right? I know. Anybody can do a headstand. Anybody. I've had like 80-year-olds do headstands, and they're like, what? But of course, the swing is holding you, and like you said, you're using gravity to assist you and as your friend, as opposed to against you. And that is the key of the beauty and the benefit of the yoga swing, why I find it to be so powerful. Well, that's great. Well, you've been amazing, just so you know, Sue. I really appreciate everything you've been sharing. Why don't you just close with one more thing, anything that you would like to share about your experience, anything you'd like to share with other people who might be feeling a little intimidated or, unsure if this practice would be for them. If you don't mind me saying, you're in your early 60s, right? I work with a lot of people in their 50s and 60s where different health issues start to crop up, and if we're not going to work on our posture now, then when? Right? Now's the time. And just kind of whatever you feel like you want to close with, I just wanted to give you the mic and let you go for it.
Let's see. I think it's a gradual process that I experienced, and I didn't push myself, but if I felt like doing more, I definitely did that. And I was guided by, I think that was the biggest thing that happened to me, is the heightened awareness that I had of my body, what it was feeling and what it was telling me to do. And if something didn't happen that day, one of the poses, I couldn't do it, I just said to myself, time and more practice, it'll happen. And not to push it. Just do what feels comfortable. Like you always say, do what feels comfortable and stick with that. And if it once you don't succeed, try again. Because it will happen. Because from day 1 to even day 12, it was almost a completely different situation for me. I was comfortable, was confident, I was feeling a little bit more like challenging myself, but I wouldn't have done that on day 1.
Right, yeah.
So and then by day 30, I was a completely different person. I was doing things I never thought I'd be able to do. So it's a gradual process, and everybody starts from a different point, and not to compete with anybody else. Just do for yourself what you can do.
Yeah, and you mentioned
and
that.
Enjoy.
Yeah, have fun with it. So you mentioned that you were excited about winning the free yoga swing because your husband even said that he wanted to give it a try, and you guys could practice together. Is that true?
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. Well, that made me really happy because, people really find, I mainly do healing work, and then I create all these different practices and empowerment coaching and evolutionary experiences to really give people an opportunity that they wouldn't have either any other way. So it really just warms my heart and makes my work so much more rewarding when I see that people at any age, at any physical level, at any experience level can enjoy the swing and benefit from it, as well as I have like some really young rock stars that are performers and aerialists that love the swing and get a lot out of it. And I want it to be a full spectrum experience. So again, thank you so much for being amazing and for sticking with it and for gaining so much from the experience that you wanted to benefit others by sharing your comments and your feedback. I got hundreds of comments from the videos, and it's still not over. There's a lot of people that are just starting because, they didn't hear about it in time, or they finally got inspired and jumped in. So if you do want to participate, jump in at any time, do the 30-day yoga swing challenge. I do make my own style of the yoga swing, which is super special. Whatever yoga swing you have is fine, but just know that this one is kind of like the Porsche of all the other products. It's a really high-end, super cozy luxury item. And if you want to go to aerialyogaplay.com for more information, we'll also be having more workshops and trainings all across the world. And if you want me to come to your area, all you have to do is write me and invite me and help me set it up, and I will be there. So thanks again, Sue. I'm going to say bye for now, and ciao, ciao. Namaste. Thank you so much. I know you can hardly see me because I'm talking to the camera, and I'm going to sign off. Thanks again.